A glorious morning to you out there and welcome to yet another edition of Sports Talk on Atlantic Television Network. My name is Emmanuel Mike, glad to be here this morning to bring you up to speed with the latest happening in the world of sports. Top honor to be here this morning as always. Let's get started this morning because the federal government has commended Ogun State for its continuous commitment to host the world-class National Sport Festival as the event draws closer. The organizing committee, with the firm support of the NSC, officially unveiled a certain heavyweight bank right here in the country as a lead sponsor for the festival on Wednesday in a record-breaking deal. Speaking on this feat, Chairman of the National Sport Commission, Malam Shehu Diko, lauded Ogun State's dedication to ensuring a seamless and a memorable festival, emphasizing the importance of corporate and private sectors. Let's hold it there. Kingsley, this National Sport Festival, I mean, we've seen about twice delay, postponement every now and then. First, I want to start with that. Do you think that the postponement of the National Sport Festival, that Gateway National Sport Commission is staying?
An adequate National Sport Festival. We don't want to, of course, leave any stone unturned. I think that's, for me, the reason for that postponement. You know, they've been able to secure, sponsorship, for it. You don't just do a National Sport Festival and
out there for the forthcoming National Sport Festival. But still talking about the National Sport Festival, Kingsley, over 20,000 athletes is said to, participate in this year's edition. What do you make of that number? What would be your expectation out of these 20,000 athletes built to, take part in the National Sport Festival?
For me, I think it's not just by the numbers. It's not by we having 20,000, 30,000 or thereabouts. Is what are we going to, of course, get, from this number of athletes, at the end of the day. That's how we assemble athletes, every time we host a National Sport Festival, 20,000, Athletics Championship, Commonwealth Games, or you talk about the Olympics, as well. So for me, it's not just by the number. I'm not really impressed if you talk about 20 athletes participating at the National Sports Festival in Ogun State, 20 athletes, fine, that's good, number. But, what are we going to get out of these 20 numbers, 20 athletes, that will be coming to this particular one? That's actually the big one at the end of the day. So for me, I'm expecting
International Boxing Federation title eliminator bout in May. The silent roller took to Instagram yesterday with a provocative message for his Congolese opponent. This latest taunt follows Jagba's previous warning when he shared the footage of his devastating knockout victory over Brian Howard on social media. The bout is set to take place in the United States with feature on a stacked card organized by Saudi Turkey Al-Sheikh, alongside high-profile matchup including Ryan Garcia versus Roland Romero and Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez. Jagba, who boasts an impressive record of 20 wins and just one loss with 14 knockouts, has won his last 5 fights since suffering his lone professional Vander Holyfield, Terry Reyes. You can mention names that when you hear them in the the heavyweight, you are rest assured that something serious is about to go down. Are you?
But it's not that, draw the audience, to you. But the likes of Chisora, Zelizanga, they don't really carry that charisma that, of course, will make, people, of course, really want to watch their bouts, or maybe more interested, in them at this point in time. But they are heavyweight boxers at this point. But for me, I think boxing has gone down the lane. And boxing really gone down the lane. When you take defeated boxer, who is going to win? So that fans appeal will be there. Everybody wants to look at, who is going, was eager to see who, of course, is going to be defeated. This maybe you should see what to do. Talking about the rest of the guys remaining, Joseph Parker, Chisora, and the rest of them, both can live up to expectation, can stand up and say, Usyk, I will challenge you. I think that's where we definitely want to see the competition coming back if Usyk will be challenged, because as it stands now, it seems nobody is there, that can challenge the man. So he's just riding on all the weights, cruiser, middleweight, and heavyweight. Come to fight him now, he will tell you, this is what I'm going to earn and this is where you earn, because he's the big shot, at this point in time. So I think boxing has gradually is now becoming very boring due to the less level of competition we've seen.
You talked about boxing becoming very boring right now, but then if you compare the amount of money that they cut home this time around, advanced technological equipment that should have been able to help us properly sell and market some of more popular, but where has it all gone wrong? There is the social media there, the money increment. This should have been a source of motivation to these days boxers.
For me, I think boxing, if you take a look at it, somehow the interest about the money. Yes, don't forget this social media also helped the organizers to accrue more money. You pay, first of all, you pay for ticket fee. If you don't want to come to 50 points, a little bit predictable. Oh, Joshua is coming. Maybe this might be another loss for him with the way he's doing. Tyson Fury, he's just going to talk and talk and talk, and maybe at the end of the day he'll be defeated once again, and the highest thing he will do is just go back to retirement. So it's looking as if today's boxers are being predictable. But if you take a look at the past, the social media was not the main thing. The boxers were more concentrated, in making sure that they proved themselves in the ring. They were not really after the money. We understand the money, was there, but they were not really after it. They were after showcasing their strengths and making sure that, of course, their name, stand out, at the end of the day. So for me, I think that is what this focusing on the money and, of course, trying to, chase, some
ought to be, favorite, or ought to be a terror. When you hear their name, then you are rest assured that something big is about coming. But then, look as though Alexander Usyk, the man, is just dictating the pace, calling the big shot every now and then. Because for me, I think there is no, serious heavyweight boxer out there to give him a run for his money. More like also in 90s, you talk about Tyson Fury. The WTA has specified how long Vukov will be banned for, and it is not part of the code that he has broken. The 37-year-old helped Rebakina to win Wimbledon in 2022, but their 5-year partnership ended days before. Back onto her team, something she hoped to do at the start of this year. very disappointing one for, out there. We hope that, they are able to stick to the rules, because it is what it is. The WT has given their decision, and there's nothing to do about that. But at this point, we'll take a quick break. When we are back, we'll dive straight to the world of football. Keep it locked here, because we'll be back in a jiffy.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
It's a very family.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
Alright, welcome back from that short break to the world of football. This morning we'll go. Don't forget that Kingsley is still here with me, doing justice to some of these trending stories making rounds in the ever busy world of sport. But to the NFL, talking about the Nigerian Premier 4 League news right now. Shooting Stars lost for the first time in 9 league outings after falling to a 2-0 defeat against Kwara United in Ilorin yesterday. Kabir Mohammed and Lafina Abdullahi scored the goal for Kwara United. Shooting Stars remain in second position on the league table despite their defeat. 8 points adrift of the leaders. Fans, they continue to churn out a poor result. What do you make of the bleeping form that we've seen of Enyimba since their all-star from the CAF Confederations Cup?
Okay, I think it's very disappointing. Very, very disappointing from what we've seen from Enyimba Football Club. This is not the kind of performance the fans expect. I know, looking at the fact that, of course, they have to bring a new manager, Stanley Guma, one man, of course, who understands the Nigerian Premier Football League, but the case remained the same. Olaruwaju, of course, started with them this season, a couple of some kind of poor performances. He has to, of course, be shown the exit door, and Iguma came. We thought, the coming of Iguma was going to, liberate things, or probably we're going to see a quick result, with the presence of Stanley Iguma, but that's not been the case, and it becomes so worrisome that a team like Enyimba Football Club struggling at this point in time. We understand that, of course, was really an intense encounter. Bender Insurance actually threw their gates open to make sure that the fans, come in and to support them. That was also a strategy for them to get, things done in that particular encounter, and they were able to get that. And was so unfortunate that Rivers them in that encounter. So it's been a very, very, troubling one as it stands now. I think there might be, of course, in the top 10 on the table, but that is, for me, that's not a position where they should be found. They should be looking forward to see how to get back to the continent and see how they can be able to reckon with the big boys once again. I think for me, Enyimba, they've lost that touch. When you talk about, teams that have done so well, or probably
Guma came in. I think it's been very disappointing. They were knocked out of the CAF Confederations Cup. At that point, we thought, okay, we're going to put their acts together and focus more on the league. But then, I tell you, it's been very difficult to churn out positive results ever since then. And something needs to be done as quick as possible to bring back Enyimba to where they ought to be in the league table. They are away from the top 5 right now, and it is very difficult to catch up with the league leaders, talking about Remo Stars. But then another big question, Kingsley, should be, do you see Enyimba finishing within the continent? We are not talking about the title chase this time around, because obviously it's looking very difficult and very blink for Enyimba to vie for the title. But then, do you see them finishing within the continent?
It will be difficult if they go by this level of performance. It's too difficult. Take a look at teams that are fighting for the continent: Remo Stars, Rivers United, Shooting Stars. You talk about the likes of, Economy Warriors. These are teams currently fighting for the continental sport. What we're also talking about Rangers as well, defending champions of the competition. With this level of performance, I think it will be so difficult for Enyimba to fight for that continental sport, because we take a look at the rate at which Remo Stars they are playing, Rivers United as well. I understand the result has not been so favorable to them of recent, but talk about Shooting Stars that have maintained some level of unbeaten run in the competition. Economy Warriors, of course, one of them. Rangers. So it will be difficult, because if you take a look at the way these teams are playing, Enyimba, they are not, in that level. They're not in that pace. So for me, Enyimba might not, make that continental sports this season with this level of performance.
Of course, it will be very difficult for the People's Elephants to make that continental sport because of their briefing form so far. Still talking the Nigerian Premier Football League, because Nigerian Premier Football League and PFL has announced a new date for the match day 24 fixtures between Nasarawa United and Remo Stars. The encounter, which was initially scheduled for Sunday 16th February, will now take place on Saturday 15th February 2020. The game will be played.
But if you take a look at the defense of the